Center. Lovely to see some people who are already waiting in the chat. Yes, it's me. I'm back after a long hiatus from the channel, barring my video last week about doing karate while pregnant. I hope this finds you all well. Today we're going to talk about ideas for when you're on your own and you're training alone in your home or dojo or home dojo or garage, garden, and so that you can stay motivated and to stay committed to a path, the path that you are on. So we'll talk a little bit about goal setting and then 3 or 4 training ideas that I use, especially now that I'm postpartum and I'm working back towards my karate goals. Everyone's goals are different, but I hope you will find goals that work for you. If at any point you can't hear me or the connection cuts out, let me know. I might not see it from my side, but I can do what I can to rectify it. And that's our introduction. Right, let's start with my favorite way of training when I'm by myself. It's probably mirrored for you as well, I apologize. They're called cycles. So what I do is I use an app, it's a Tabata timer app. What I'll do is I will set work, rest cycles. And the nice thing about those is that you can usually set, it tells you at the top of the app how long it will take. I'm sure I bought in a phone to show. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description of the other apps that you can use. But anyway, so what I like to do is I like to put at the top, you see here, I do my cycles. I put a kata, then the next cycle I do chishi, then some yumbiundo. I'll be on for 60 to 90 seconds and then off for 20 to 30. Why use this instead of reps? Because reps, it's easy to cheat yourself a little bit. And with time, you have no choice but to finish. If the timer hasn't stopped, you don't stop. So especially when you're doing chishi, and then you keep the time the same and you increase the weight, for example. And I like to work in sets of about 90 seconds, especially as I get towards longer kata. And the nice thing about this, if you have a very clear goal, and if you're like me, you have a lazy-ass lizard brain that says, you know, we could be doing something easier than this, which we all have. We all struggle with a lizard brain. Hi, Jason. This way you stay committed and on track. So this is one of my favorite ways to train when I'm by myself. And obviously in a blasphemous way, I like to have my music going. I'm training in my easy, comfortable clothes. That way I can focus on working as hard as I possibly can within a set limit of time. So now I have 2 kids. I don't have the luxury of time of training for 2-3 hours. I have to work as hard as I can in 45 minutes to an hour. So this is one of my favorite self-training methods. Right, maybe if I've got time at the end, depending how long this video takes, we'll go through some training together. So, kata ladder. Oh, these are also great teaching ideas. So if you're a teacher, these are all fine for class structures. And helps your students also have a template to take home for their training. Kata ladder, self-explanatory. You can choose, start at the easiest kata and work your way to your highest kata, or start at your highest kata and work your way down. There's a couple of ways to approach this. One of the ways I like to do is I do each kata 3 times. So one very slow, extremely technical one, like a medium speed, medium pace, but still technically acceptable. And then one in full power, full speed, obviously knowing the technique is going to fall away, but it's a great way to pressure test your kata. Especially that works best if you don't know a lot of katas and you need to give yourself a slightly longer ladder to climb. Then the other way you can do kata ladder is alternate, so geksara ich. Hi ABD, and thank you for your lovely comment. So one of the things I like to do is geksara ich, pick up the chishi, do 10 and 10, and then geksara ni, pick up the chishi, 10 and 10 of a different exercise. Oh, we're on a very busy road, I'm sure you can hear that motorbike. Rude. Then cipher, chishi, etc, etc, etc. And it's also a great thing to give your older students. So if you're doing open dojo and people don't know what to do with themselves, they could just do a kata ladder, and it's a nice way to refine their technique while having a very clear workable goal. Then, next I've got, one kata polish. So this is especially good when you're coming up to grading and you want to really fine tune your kata. So for example, it's not something I have to worry about right now, but my next grading kata is kurunfa. So I will start with the kata as is, then do the mirror of the kata. So instead of starting to, instead of starting to the left, start to the right. Then you do it in reverse, so you start from the last move and you'll work your way back. Then no hands, no feet, and then do it facing different directions. And this is how you can test yourself on how well you know your kata. Now I know right off the bat that the only katas I can do this kind of thing with is maybe up to Seirenshin. At a push on a good day, maybe Shishoshin. I definitely can't do Kurunfu backwards, I can't do it mirrored. And so I know I have a lot of work to do. And this is a great way to test your kata and your knowledge with one kata. And it's a nice clear theme. And if you want to test your students, this is what Sensei Jagger made the black belt candidates do in their grading 2 weekends ago. And they had to do their grading kata, they had to do Shishoshin inside out and backwards. And it took them an hour and a half to do it. So that was part of their training. And the last one that I like to use when I'm on my own is Yumbi Undo and rehab, because it's something that quite often gets neglected. So my rehab is often because I've got something called coxa profunda, which means my hip joint is sunk too deep. The ball of my hip is sunk too deep in the joint. So instead of it moving freely, it actually kind of knocks against the surrounding bone. So I have to do a lot of exercises to keep my hips strong so that they don't overcompensate, and I end up having to have a hip replacement surgery before I'm 50. So right now I'm quarter to 40. Then, so what I'll do is I will use, I'll go through my Yumbi Undo, my stretching, my a little bit of Congo Ken maybe. I know that's Goju Undo, but I like Congo Ken for some of my Yumbi Undo. For example, doing reverse push-ups, and then my rehab exercises with a TerraBand. Hi Mike G, it's so nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream. So these are just 4 methods that I use when I'm training on my own, and I am trying to stay motivated. Now let's talk about your goal setting for a second. Now, one of my favorite phrases is karate is long but life is short. And the important thing is, because life tends to get in the way, karate often takes a back seat, because it's one of those things that falls into the category of important but often not urgent. So you tell yourself that this is the year you're going to get to knee done, and then next year you'll get to knee done, and then next year you'll get to knee done. I know people who've been on, or were on Shodan, Claire and Brian, who were on Shodan for a long time, and they just only graded now last year to knee done. So right now, I'll share my goal setting with you, where I am at the moment. So for those who've just joined the live stream or visiting our channel for the first time, hi, I'm Zoe, and I had a baby boy 7 weeks ago. So I've now started teaching about 3 weeks ago, and I'm ready now to resume my karate training. But I have to set a very clear goal for myself, because there might be a chance to travel to Japan next year, all going well, and I don't want to go to Japan and lose face there. So for myself personally, what I need to work on is Kurunfa. What is fun kata to spell? Kurunfa kata. I want to get up to using a 4 kg Jishi comfortably. And something else I wanted to work on. But I think those are good goals to get started with. And that gives me a clear direction on what I want to fix my Mawashi gear. So, hi Sensei Jed, how are you? Karate is all about longevity, you're right. And you know, as like Shay often says, you're only as old as your spine. And if we take care of our spine and our backs now with stretching, we can enjoy a longer karate journey. And I've had the privilege. I know that there's, let me not say anything particularly controversial. I like to keep peace in the karate world. But I've seen Okinawans in their 80s moving like 40-year-olds, like 50-year-olds, because they always train with an eye towards longevity. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about Okinawan karate, is this focus on taking care of the body, rather than burning out and going out like a dying star, and you're no longer training after 30 or 40. And that's my issue with some other martial arts, is that the lifespan of your career is so short. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a chishi, and you can come with me. So the table's all ready for grading. We're starting with gradings tomorrow. Yes, it's a part of karate life and instructor life. Let me just pick up. 2.5 kilograms should be good. This is one of my favorite weights to train with. It's a comfortable weight for me. And let's train. The lighting is not great, but I'll do my best. Only 9 people left online. Oh no, what did I say? Okay, let's go. So what I'll usually do is an example example of a training cycle. Let me put my voice up so the microphone can pick us up. Don't need to video the roof though. Okay. Right, from here I'm going to do cycle training. Obviously I haven't set up an alarm because we're live streaming now. But what I would do for my cycle training, I'll start with my kata. Let's start with a little bit of, why not tensho? It's one of my favorite katas. Now you'll see some style differences. We'll pull back, and then do the kata from there. Some will do the punch, then pull back. We go. Take a kata, pick up a chishi. Love a chishi, actually. I find it great moving meditation. Nice white stars. Hand on the hips. People like to keep it in chamber. 3 and 4. The nice thing about chishi is that it's easy for you to have one chishi and then make it heavier by holding higher. You're still here, Jason. I appreciate that. And I'll see you in the dojo tomorrow morning, probably. Love it when the Jaguars are on the live stream. And change hands. I mean, we could be a bit like those hardcore Russians I've seen flipping kettlebells in the air, but I'm not taking that chance. Those of you who are regulars of the channel will have noticed that we've lifted the mats, so it's a lot less forgiving if a chi-shi or whatever gets dropped on this beautiful floor. Oh, Bash is here too. Awesome. And down. So alternating chi-shi and kata, and then your third yumbi undo. So you pick something that you need to work on. In my case, I need to work on rebuilding my core strength, so I am going to do a couple varieties of playing. One moment while I go fetch a mat. Kettlebell either 10 or 15. Absolutely, kettlebell is modern karateka's friend. In fact, you can see in the dojo in the background, there. Those are our 5 kgs. Our heaviest is 32 and our lightest is 2 kilograms. Okay, planks, or kind of like karate vegetables, but I like doing more dynamic planks. Okay, let's see, I should still be on screen. Okay, you've got your London Bridge. I know it's quite timely as given the news this week. From here, one, rocking to the side. Then you've got the walking one. So from here, drop your elbows, back on your hands. And obviously side plank, which is one of my pet hates because it's so good. From here, hands up, woo, she's beauty, she's grace. Okay, that, you can see how out of shape I am after being pregnant. Very nice, mace bell and steel mace. Don't know where on earth we'd find something like that, but I would love to add that to training. I guess it's similar. I want to show you something that Shay made on that topic. Let me take you on a walk around the dojo. There it is. One moment. Shay filled a baseball bat. You can see the hole he drilled here. I think it's concrete or lead. He might come online and correct me. But this is a wonderful training implement. I would say this weighs. Also, given the weird shape, the torque on this is unbelievable for the wrists. So for those of you who are looking for an alternative to a Chishi, and especially for our American friends, who make up a significant number of our channel, here's an alternative. That reminds me, Sensei Jed, isn't it like 4 o'clock in the morning there in Australia right now? And like we've commented on in a previous Ojunda video, whatever you can make with to work at home, that's great. Medicine balls are good. You can make your own chishi if you take half of a dumbbell. Obviously kettlebells, as we said before. There's monsters. We've got plate weights. We've got hammer heads. Please send links. These hammer heads are great for your training as well. I think it's about 1 kilogram, maybe 2. No, I think it's 115. Okay. Oh, bless you for staying awake for my little live stream. Okay, so those hammer heads are great for personal training. I was looking to see what else we've got. Oh, let's talk about some rehab exercises while I'm here. I'll put some Amazon links at the bottom, our affiliate links, so if you'd like to buy these and support our channel, it's an option. These are, some people call them TheraBands, some people call them TerraBands. I like Terra because the students groan when they see these. Brilliant for, actually we could do a whole video on these, but I'm just going to show you a few exercises, and one is particularly used for karate people. Do a little shoelace knot, not too tight, but tight enough for a little bit of resistance. And these are called, thank you, Ed Batista, regular commentator on the channel. So these are monster walks, which are great for developing these muscles that are often neglected for karate people. So into shikodachi, knees out, back straight, bum tucked in, slide through and open. And that resistance there is going to start burning your glutes and your hip flexors. And then back. This is something you can do for ages in the dojo by yourself. Another favorite. Okay, spin. Stop. Go on. Got load shedding in half an hour, so gotta make this. Can't stay on for too long. From here, standing. It's basically a standing hip clamp. But you're also working now nicely on your balance, working on these. These are all exercises I was given by my physio to prevent any further hip injuries. And as a runner, for ITB strength as well. Like that. Then you take advantage of our makiwara. You can use, for this exercise, you can use a table leg in your house. You just need something to put the band around. Let's use the fiercest makiwara. Okay. Right. From here, kicking forward. I was given 3 sets of 15, but you can do as many as you can manage. Obviously here the hip flexor. Remember, the hip flexor is the thing that gets tight and short from all the sitting we do, because sitting is the new smoking. So use the TerraBand to help you with this particular one. Change directions, we're going the other way. Don't need to see my face for this one. I finish it. Let's go here. Okay, pulling the band towards yourself. This is just a inverse of what we just did. Hi Linda, so nice to see you. Yay, another Jaguar online. Okay, This is also a great one for these abductors, if I remember correctly. Ah, my blushes, Sensei. That is such a nice comment. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here because you are one of the great karate men of your area. Right, and then, which way? I just did this one. Yes, forgive me. I was so flattered. Okay, from here, we're kicking backwards now. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. This is for the glutes. Because these hips don't lie. 1, 2, 3. Kick back as far as you can without snapping the band, obviously. And just doing all the directions, keep turning around, 4 directions. Ah, that's the one I was looking for. You have an awesome set of exercises to build all your kicking muscles and help prevent those long-term injuries that so often plague karate people. I think that's enough for today. 20 minutes is long enough for a live stream. But I'm happy to answer any questions anyone might have, or I'd love to hear your suggestions for any training exercises that you use or that you teach your students. If you train on your own, I hope this is helpful. If you are an instructor, I hope these will be of use to you and your students. And I would love to hear how they go. And these bands obviously come in different thicknesses. We've got 4 thicknesses. This is our second toughest one. The toughest ones are black. But the black belts had to tidy the whole dojo as part of their grading, and they've put them back where I can't find them. So, or I'm too short to get to them. Right, I'm not seeing any comments coming up. So I think I'm going to sign off and go back to my newborn. And members, I will share some stuff with you, some pictures of Archer and a couple of bunkais. Everyone else, we will see you next Friday, roughly this time, for a new video. Hi, thank you so much for your time. Yes, thank you. I'm recovering quickly. I was fully recovered within 3 weeks. I'm very lucky I was able to have natural birth, which meant faster recovery. And the baby's very sweet. His name is Archer, and he's truly a sweet, sweet baby. If I'd had him first, I might have had a second one sooner. But I had the firstborn Storm first. And I love motherhood, and it's helped reinforcing my importance of staying in the dojo to show the girls in the dojo that just because you have babies, it doesn't mean you have to stop doing karate. If I can save even one girl student from attrition that way, I've lived a good life. I'll pass on your greetings to Archer. I thought about bringing him on the channel, but I want to be one of those gross vlogger families who monetize their children. Hi, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your comments, and we will see you here soon. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Take care. See you Monday, Lindo.